Hey there, Power Stroke Maintenance here. It is really hot out because I'm in Nashville and I wanted to talk about something that's been driving me nuts with my Power Stroke 6.7 with the steering. It's kind of a Ford Super Duty thing, but it's just something I've noticed on this trip, and I'm sure other people have had this issue as well, but I wanted to update you guys on what the issue is and talk about what I've repaired in the steering so far and get some input perhaps from people who have solved this. All right, so the issue at hand that I'm having is with the steering. So when I'm driving down the highway, I'll play a clip of this, but basically there's probably about an inch or two of play in the steering wheel where you can move it back and forth before the front tires respond to this movement. So instead of it being like a one-to-one, like you turn the steering wheel and the wheels move, it's like you turn the steering wheel, you turn the steering wheel, you turn the steering wheel, and then the wheels move. And again, I'll make sure I have a clip in there that kind of shows the issue, but it's really annoying because I've already replaced several items in the steering. The items I've replaced in the steering already are the tie rod ends and the drag link. So those have been done, and then I've checked all the other steering components below the steering box. So I know the track bar is good. I've gone down there with a pry bar and pushed on it. I just did ball joints, so that's all good. And I'm really just baffled at this point because I also did a steering stabilizer. And what I've noticed is when I turn the steering stabilizer up, the problem, it kind of almost dampens the problem. Like the looseness in the steering is still there, but it does dampen it and keep the truck driving straight with me needing to make fewer steering corrections. I still have some diag to do with my brother, Oliver, who is a mechanic, and we're gonna see if we can figure out like what the issue is here with the steering and why I'm getting this weird, like loose feeling where the steering wheel, it's almost like, you know, between the steering wheel and the drag link, there's something in there that's loose. And without doing the diag or having my brother look at it, I think it's the steering box. I think the steering box has become loose. Part of that's my own fault because I'm running oversized tires. And so I think what's happening is now that the truck has been running oversized tires and I'm at about almost 110,000 miles on it, and I've been having the oversized tires for about 40,000 miles, I think that the steering box has gotten a little loose, and there is a screw to tighten it, but I don't know whether I want to do that because I think it's just kind of fixing the symptoms, or if I want to just put a whole new steering box in it. So again, this is an issue you guys with the newer trucks probably don't have, or you guys that have the smaller normal highway tires that are within the recommended Ford spec. I'm not saying that this is necessarily Ford's problem, but with 35s, it may put a lot of excessive force on your steering box, and that's my theory. And so to solve that, what I'm thinking of doing is getting, excuse the noise, I'm on the street here in Nashville, but I'm thinking of getting one of the redhead aftermarket steering boxes, because when I looked at reviews on various sites, people are wicked stoked on them. They're like, just do it, just buy it, it fixes the sloppy steering feel. And because I've replaced like basically all the other steering components, the only thing I can think it possibly be at this point is the steering box. So I think we're gonna try that, but we're gonna do some diag first and then we'll figure it out. Just the amount of stuff I've had to replace on the steering with this truck drives me bonkers. Like, I honestly went through a phase where I was driving. I had like a day where I drove basically 17 hours in a single day, and I was like, I'm gonna sell this toilet. Like, I'm so tired of having to replace things, but you know, there's part of it that I love, right? Like the power that you get, the comfiness of the cab, like some of the features that Ford has are awesome. It's just, I don't know why they couldn't get the steering sorted. So when people put oversized tires like I did, it still works and you don't have to completely replace your entire steering system. So that's my update on an issue that I'm having, and I will make another video when we do the diag and potentially replace the steering box with the redhead one. But if you guys have experienced this kind of loose feeling with the steering wheel and the steering box, let me know. I'm open to feedback. I am trying with this channel to both document my experience so you guys can understand what it takes to get a Super Duty that's newer up to high mileage, but also I'm completely open to accepting feedback. And again, I take full responsibility for me causing the looseness problem on the front end, potentially because I'm running oversized tires. But again, to me, I'm like, I feel like these trucks should be able to handle oversized tires when, you know, they have a GVWR of like 11,000 pounds. Like, you're supposed to be able to freight these things. So if they can't handle oversized tires, why am I gonna freight this thing as a work truck? And I think that's my whole thing with this channel is like, if I'm having these issues running this as a commuting truck, like I don't normally tow a lot. I'll maybe keep 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of gear in the bed, in the cab, and I'm driving a ton of miles. But if I'm having those issues using this as a commuter, I can't even imagine running this as an actual work truck where I'm towing 20,000 pounds every day, or I'm loading it with material or whatever. Like, to me, it would just be insane to run this as like an actual work truck that doesn't just rip highway miles. Thank you very much for listening to my rant. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all the feedback and the comments. Please subscribe if this is your first time to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video, and I will keep you guys updated with this ongoing issue that I'm having. Cheers.